This first reading that we hear, we get a version of this almost every week, every day, especially recently. And I'll explain why. But did you ever see that TV show, Shark Tank, where people who invent things go in front of people who have lots of money and can fund their projects, their inventions, and get them out to a lot of people, make them a lot of money. And they seemingly, on the show at least, have just a few minutes to describe to them their lifetime of work. Actually, I think in the taping, they say the tapings can go for hours, but they just show, very quick snippets. Well, that's what St. Paul is doing in this first reading. He has a very short period of time. He came to Antioch in Pisidia, and he said in the synagogue, and then he lays out Jesus' life and what Jesus did to people who maybe have not heard of him, maybe have heard of him and aren't convinced. And his job is to go in very quickly, because people won't listen for a long time. As you know today, I'll speak for 3 minutes and that's it. But people won't listen, so you have to convince them and then go. And this is what Paul did. He's trying to convince them. He's giving them the very short version of what Jesus did. Jesus came in fulfillment of what the prophet said. He was crucified, even though there was no proof for his crucifixion. He died, he rose from the dead, and that this is the fulfillment for us. And the last line of this reading is a psalm. You are my son, this day I have begotten you. So, what was our psalm for today? You are my son, this day I have begotten you. So Paul was telling the truth. This is the fulfillment. He is the fulfillment of what we have believed for centuries. We knew he was coming. And now Paul says he has come, he has been killed, he has risen from the dead. And the truth is that he is the Son, but we are sons and daughters in the Son too. This is the kerygma. This is the teaching of the apostles. We got to teach it, we got to say it very briefly and convince you. And this is what Paul is doing. This is what the apostles did, and this is what we're living, brothers and sisters. He was the Son. He is the Son. He died, he rose from the dead, and he brings us with him. And the fact that we have joined him in that baptismal font as sons and daughters in the Son confirms that we too believe this. Let's live this kerygma. Let's live what St. Paul teaches, so that we too may join the Son in the life of the Father. Please stand.